So we're on to week 3. I'm starting to notice that meditation is just one part of my life that is going to help relieve stress, feelings of mixed emotions. Now, the reason why I say that is that, again, I didn't sleep well last night. So my mood is a little bit up and down today. So it's a bit like adequate sleep is really a must. Also diet. Again, high amounts of sugar before I go to bed. It's because I'm bored. So I'm sitting back in the evening and just eating some chocolate and popcorn, and then I go to bed and it affects my sleep. I'm tossing and turning during the night, and I wake up and I feel stressed and I feel like I feel moody, anxious. And then I meditate, and then them feelings subside a little bit, but it's still there. So I think it's one of them ones where meditation can help, but sometimes it's a lot more than just meditation. Sometimes it's diet, sometimes it's sleep, even exercise. Didn't do a lot of exercise yesterday, or even the day before. So I don't know. Maybe something I'll play around with going forward, just maybe cut out the sugar before bed, which is going to be hard. But I'm trying to focus on meditations within these 30 days rather than trying to change every aspect of my life all at once. So yeah, we can just see where it goes.
So I'm finding this technique very beneficial when I'm meditating. So on every in-breath, I count, and I count up to 10 on every in-breath. So an example is I breathe in 1, 2, and so on, all the way up to 10. But when my mind wanders, so let's say I've done my breath and I've done 4 breaths, and then my mind wanders onto a 4, I'd start all over again. I think that way it's training my mind to be able to focus on the breath rather than external things like thoughts or people talking. I think I thought I'd give it a little try just to play with it to see if it works, and it's actually quite beneficial. Out the whole time I was meditating there, I only managed to get to 10 once. So when you get to 10, you restart, and without thinking, I only got to 10 once. So with some training, I'm pretty sure I can then hone my attention straight onto doing that. And that's the whole reason why I'm doing that, is because of I want to be able to train my attention to purely focus on one thing. And I think that's a good way to do it. So I'm gonna give that a try going forward and see if it works, because it's a good technique. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good meditation. It was a bit. I decided to use incense sticks just to try and see if I can start honing in on my smells when I'm meditating, just to see if I can focus on that. They say it makes you calmer, the smelling it, but I don't know. It was a bit too soon to judge on that, but it definitely made the room smell nicer. And you can hear the crackling of the incense. I don't know why. I don't know how I can hear that crackling, but I can hear it. But during the meditation itself, my neighbour was doing some gardening work, so it's a bit hard to concentrate fully, especially when you've got loads of banging and lawnmowers going off. But it helped to focus in on that. But maybe I got a bit too distracted with it. But again, I think that's part of meditation. I think distractions like that, you're meant to continue focusing on your breath and just let that be. But sometimes it's really hard. It really is really hard to just focus on your breath when you've got really loud noises like that. So yeah, but it's tough. I'm finding it tough today. I don't know why. Just focusing is just really hard. Even during the day, I'm meditating in the evening at the minute, so even during the day, just focusing was just so hard. Maybe it's because I had a really long drive today, so concentration levels are really high, and I'm just starting to get a bit tired. I'm definitely finding that meditating in the morning is a lot more beneficial to start your day, but meditating in the evening is a lot better to reduce your stress. I've noticed that. So pick and choose what you would like to do. If you want to focus and set up your day, meditate in the morning. If you want to reduce your stress, meditate in the evening. So yeah, or I can have a mixture of both. So I'm really starting to notice that meditating outside is probably my favourite place to meditate. Number of reasons why is obviously all the sounds I can hear, like the birds, the wind, the rustling of the leaves, really calms me. And also the smells around, and I can feel the wind hitting me, and it just feels really, really nice. And even the sun hitting my face. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just perfect. And I'm starting to notice that I really enjoy meditating outside. But one thing I've noticed though is that I don't know why I sit with my legs crossed. I think maybe it's because it's comfort. I've tried the lotus. Can't do it. I'm not that flexible at all. I've tried half lotus. It was really uncomfortable. So really the only options I really have is sitting with my legs crossed and sitting with my feet flat on the ground. I feel if I sit with my feet flat on the ground, I feel like I'm just sitting. I'm just sitting down, like waiting for a train or something like that. I don't feel like I'm meditating when I do that. So I think with my legs crossed, I feel like I'm actually meditating. I don't know. I guess everybody's different. Maybe you find your way that you find comfortable with to meditate, but for me, it's sitting down with my legs crossed and my hands on my lap. So it's one of them ones where you just trial and error really to see what works for you. You probably won't figure it out for a while. I'd recommend meditating outside if you ever get the chance. So that was the first time I've ever got emotional during a meditation. I'm meditating in the evening. I've had such a long, stressful day. I've driven hours. I've dealt with things today with clients that maybe just tip me over the edge really with stress. But yeah, I needed that meditation. Just the whole way through it, I just felt really relaxed. Like I could just feel like weights dropping off my mind, dropping off my body. I just sunk into the chair. And it was probably the most memorable meditation that I've had. It just goes to show, like when you're in high amounts of stress, sometimes you just need that minute, or that 10 minutes, that 15 minutes, that 20 minutes, just to unload all that. And that was really, really needed. And I was going into it and I was just really tense. I could feel my body just crumbling. Like I just wanted to go to bed. But then I just said, no, let's go meditate. I almost missed the meditation, to be fair. I was even come to a point where I was like, I can't bother, I just really want to go to bed. And I said, no, let's go meditate. And sat down, and so glad I did. It just goes to show that sometimes you just need that time just to unload. So I wanted to try a different approach. So I tried the approach where I just sit back and relax and just focus on my breath and all the noises around me. I have to say I was quite surprised. It was actually really, really, really good. Now, I don't know if it's classed as meditation, but I felt really relaxed, and maybe I was going into it with a goal of reducing stress and stuff like that. But I think if I'm able to just relax myself, surely that's the same type of thing. I don't know. But I am aware. I'm not sitting there and I'm not relaxed to the point where I'm drifting off or I'm getting sleepy. I am very aware of what's going around me and I'm very present. But the difference is I'm very relaxed. I don't know. Birds are loud anyway. Birds are always loud around here. But yeah, I think I might do that going forward. I think I might give it a go. Because I just sat down and I just thought, look, let's try something different. And I just felt really good after it. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go for going forward and see how that starts to work out. So firstly, I never realised how annoying seagulls are. I live near the coast, right? And there was one seagull on that roof over there for about 5 minutes. It kept making that stupid noise that it keeps doing. Stupid is a bit extreme, but oh my god, when you're trying to meditate, you got that irritating, laughing noise they make. God, it went right through my head. I was really trying to block it out, but I even went to a point where I was trying to just let it come in, and oh god, my head was just ringing. But it flew away. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is being autistic and having ADHD means that, for those of you that know what that is and how it works, is my brain is just always going. It's always ticking over. It's always got something to think about. Always need to be moving. Always need to be active. And sometimes sitting still just doesn't really work. And when I sit still for long periods of time, I get really stressed and I can feel the build up of it. So with my business, I constantly drive across all over the UK because we're nationwide. And sometimes I'm driving for probably about, could be 2 hours, could be, longest this week is probably 8 hours all round all day. And that's sitting down 8 hours concentrating while driving, trying to keep your body from moving, because people don't realize that's how driving is so stressful, because you're constantly concentrating, but your body is also trying to keep itself from moving around within the car, and you get really tired. And because of that, I get really, 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 really stressed because of, one, the driving will stress most people out, but being autistic and having ADHD, not being able to move and trying to keep myself occupied while driving is really, really hard. And I've noticed that meditation is not enough. People probably backlash with me at this, and probably monks will say meditation is enough, but when you have autism and ADHD, meditation is just not enough. You need to have a balanced diet, and this, to be fair, this could be not for people without autism and ADHD, because sometimes it might not be enough for you. But you need to have a balanced diet. You need to have a well balanced diet. Like, you need to cut down the sugars. You need to start eating healthy, because that really does help. But you need to keep active as well. I've started to notice that probably for the last 3 days I've been driving quite a bit, and I've checked my step count. I'm doing less than 600 steps a day. That's shocking. That really is shocking, and I can see why the last 3 days managing my stress levels have been really hard. Like, I mean really, really hard. It's affected motivation to meditate. I'm coming home and I'm just laying on the sofa because I'm so tired. And yes, the meditation does help, and it really does help you calm your body, calm your mind. But sometimes you need a little bit more than that, so you need to put it into your lifestyle. So meditation needs to be added into a lifestyle, and you need to add a good diet into your lifestyle, and also you need to add in exercise. And if you get them 3 things right, your world will change, and it will start to really, really benefit you. And I'm not saying exercise, I'm not saying go jog 5 miles, go jog a mile. I'm just saying just go for a walk for 10 minutes, or go for a 10-minute run, or cycle, or go in the garden. If you have kids, go in the garden and play with your kids, like run around with them, because they've got bundles of energy, especially my one anyway. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. But the second thing is the meditations are working. They are working. The best way I can think of describing it is that it really does help stress. So think of stress as like a water bottle. It's empty 1 minute. So water is your stress here. It's empty 1 minute, and then gradually you start to fill that water bottle up. And sometimes it can overspill because you're just not managing your stress. So with meditation, just imagine putting a knife through the middle of it, you're going to drain quite a bit of that water out. So you're draining your stress out. And that's where I'm saying meditation sometimes isn't enough. You need to put a couple of pierces into that bottle to get that stress levels down. And then overnight, as your body does, it heals itself and the bottle will heal. So that makes sense. It makes sense to me. But you will see benefits from meditation. You will see a lot calmer mind. You'll be able to put your thoughts in the places that they need to be. So what do I mean by that? I mean by, let's say you have an anxious thought, like one of mine is, about money, especially when we're running a business. So I'm worrying about how an invoice is going to be paid and stuff like that. Instead of sitting there and going, am I going to get paid? I just sit there and go, what will be, will be. Yeah, not physically stating that out loud, but in my mind, I just say what will be, will be. And I've come to learn to accept that what will be, will be. Like, you've got to remember that your thoughts are just temporary. The only reason they become repetitive is because you're giving them the energy to keep coming back, and you're avoiding it rather than just letting it be and accepting it. And that's one thing I've started to notice I'm doing quite well, which is good. But I'm also worried that motivation is getting a little bit less. Don't know if that's because I've been meditating for a while now, and obviously the high of meditation, because you do get a meditation high. High of meditation is just gone. Don't get me wrong, I really do see the benefits, so I will keep meditation up. I can see why people will give it up. And I've also realized that it depends how you want to meditate. And again, people will argue this. I thought meditation was all about sitting down with your legs crossed, keeping your back straight. I'm coming to realize that meditation can be done anyway. Like, you can sit on a chair and just sit back. As long as you're not laying down, you can just sit back and just soak it all in and just focus on the present moment. And I'm starting to realize that that's a lot more beneficial to me, rather than trying to concentrate, keeping my back straight, concentrate on the pain that I'm feeling from my legs being crossed, because I don't sit with my legs crossed ever, and the pain from my back being straight. I've just come to realize, just do whatever feels comfortable for me, and you probably feel the same. Just do whatever's comfortable for you, and you will see the benefits. But just don't sit there and try and judge yourself, saying, I'm not seeing the benefits, I'm not seeing this, I'm not seeing that. It will happen. You just got to be patient, and you've got to just remember that it's like going to the gym. As I've said before, you're not going to get a six-pack within a week. You need to keep training it. Eventually you will get that six-pack. And meditation is exactly like that with your mind. So yeah, I'm excited for the next week. I've got one more week left. I'm definitely going to be keeping it up. But I can see my mind becoming a lot more powerful, and I can see how it needs to be put alongside other stuff. So I need to change other aspects of my life, and if I do that, I think it's like a little superpower. I think it will just become even more powerful than it already is.